We're doing it? We're ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello. Well, hello. Hello. Well, hello, Boozeketeers. Hello. I'm Tiki King, and I'm usually Tiki King these nights, Tuesday nights, coming to you live on this here program. I think I've always been Tiki King on this program. Maybe, I don't know. One time, Uncle Jeb, the loathsome malarkey merchant, but that's a whole different story. So how are you guys doing tonight? I know you can't answer. Well, you can answer, but I'm not going to know what you're saying. So I don't even know why I asked that. I always do. Because I want you to feel at home. I want you to feel at ease here on the program, where you can just slither your way into this drunken lair and unwind and pull off your slinky necklace. And you're making me nervous. What's going on over there?
Nothing.
Okay. I don't know. Producer Maggie is over there producing. I'm like, something wrong? You're looking at me disapprovingly. She's like, don't I always? I'm like, yeah, but, Anyway, once again, yes, thank you for tuning in here on another Tuesday night. Here we're down here at the Anaheim office, and tried a couple of new things. We actually I already did try one new thing. We stopped off at a couple of different liquor establishments. One intentionally. We stopped off at Lee's Liquors, which is one of our leg stretching stops on our trek from up north. Which is why what I'm drinking right now is Tanqueray Sevilla Orange with a squeeze of lime and some soda water, and it's a pleasing beverage. I'm happy with it. But we also picked up there, which was going to be this. That was my original idea for the show. We picked up some Tanqueray Sapphire gin and tonic in a can, because I like Tanqueray solid. I like the not Tanqueray, sorry, Sapphire. Why did I say Tanqueray? Losing my mind already. Sorry, Sapphire gin and tonics, yeah, I want to try it out because could be good. But then we came down here and Boozeketeer Amy said, "Oh, you're gonna do your show? I got something for you to try." So we switched gears and we're gonna do that. But inadvertently we stopped off at the grocery outlet of all places and found a couple of interesting things to give a try to, and we have tried one and it's been pleasing, and that's the Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. Because we were talking about this weekend, because years ago in the band, we were at a Scottish Games up in Woodland, California, and we had Guinness, but it was, I was like, I need some coffee. And then we decided, hey, so we went and got some coffees and dumped them out into different cups and did half coffee, half Guinness. And I believe we called it the Turk, but we liked it. It was good. And we thought they should do that, and apparently they did now, because there it is, Guinness Nitro Cold Brew with coffee, and it's beer with coffee, not just beer but Guinness, which is some people compare to coffee already. So weighing it's 4%, so that's an average beer amount. That's average Guinness amount for sure. But the only thing we haven't been able to find out for sure is the caffeine content of the coffee. We did find one listing that said it was 1 point something milligrams, which I'm like, that's incidental. 1 milligram of caffeine is like, it's in chewing gum. I mean, I have a hard time believing that any amount of coffee that would be in here. I mean, average cup of coffee is weighing in at minimum probably 60 milligrams of caffeine. Starbucks is going to be about 120 milligrams per 8-ounce cup. So I'm thinking 1 milligram of caffeine, that's an amount of coffee you wouldn't even taste, I would think, in Guinness especially. So I don't know. So if any of you Boozeketeers want to research that and find out for sure how much caffeine is in there, I'd be surprised. 1 milligram of caffeine, that's like naturally occurring. That's nothing. So I'm assuming it has, I hope it has more, because, good morning beverage, you want to say good morning. But like I said, so that's that, and then there was the Sapphire gin and tonics, which I'm excited about those as well, because they're, I believe, when I did the math on them in the store, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I do not recall, as they say in court, what the exact alcohol content was, but when I did the math in the story, it worked out to basically if you did a shot of blue, I had to get in on it. If you did if you poured a 1.5 ounce into an 8 ounce of tonic, and then with ice, you would end up with, it was comparable. It was comparable. I figured, give it a try, see what goes on. Could be good. And then this one, I have no idea. And I know some of you are going to balk. Some of you are going to be like, what? No, seriously? Come on. Oh, come on, man. But I found this Bud Light Next, which the only reason it intrigued me is because it's 4%. Once again, 4% is pretty average for 12-pack beer. But 0 carbs. Zero. None. No carbs whatsoever. So those of you who are watching your girlish figure, as it were, this one's not going to bloat you out so much. But I don't know what I don't know what it tastes like. No idea. Well, I can find out, I guess.
Do you want a new cup? I can get you a different cup.
Oh, guess I could have done that. Well, only in case I need to put a squeeze of lime in there. You never know. All right, let's see. We'll give it a try. I wasn't planning on. I was just going to show it to you and see what the deal was. But I guess we are here, and you're here, and I'm here, and you guys made the effort. So we'll give it a review. Taste it first, neat, as it were. And like I said, I know some people are probably like, what would be the point? Why are you drinking that? It's canoe beer, it's all that stuff. But as you just saw with my Tanqueray Sevilla Orange and a tonic, I drink everything pretty much the same way, which is guzzling. And I had a dear friend suggest that if I wanted to watch carbs, I should just drink like rum neat, just drink a glass of rum with some ice, or just straight up. And I said, yeah, but the problem is, I'll drink a pint glass of it, like it's a mixed drink. So sometimes, there are times, Boosketeers, can we talk seriously just for a moment? There are times in which you want to chug, but you probably shouldn't. So sometimes finding a slightly lesser alternative to chug, such as a light beer, can be beneficial to your overall performance. To convince them that you're not a monkey. But sometimes the masks don't work. So anyway, here we go. All right, we're going to give it a try. Bud Light Next. 0 carbs, 4%. See what happens. That's actually interesting. It's Well, you're not a big beer fan, but give that a swing. It's interesting. It has a lot. It has a whole lot more going on than I thought it would.
Look at this cup, though.
Who cares about the beer? Look at the cup. There's like citrus notes and spice notes.
It's only like a hint of beer flavor.
Yeah, it does. That's the thing. I'm kind of like, it's not particularly beery. I mean, what?
It kind of tastes like a seltzer that just has a little bit of beer.
Like maybe a slightly beer flavored seltzer, but I mean, it isn't. It says beer. It's listed as a beer. And here's the thing. So for those of you who may not know, which this is currently causing an issue in Utah, truth in labeling. You cannot call a beer unless it is made in a specific way. You cannot call a malt beverage unless it's made in a specific way. Seltzers, they're like having these problems now where there's been so many companies that have jumped on the bandwagon of making various malt beverages and seltzers, but they were classified as beers. And therefore they fell under certain laws in Utah for what you could sell at supermarkets. Because they have the state stores and it's all a big thing. But it is interesting that now they're reclassifying and saying, well, in order for it to be called, a beer or a malt beverage or a seltzer, they have to fall under certain criteria. So when it says that it's a beer, I'm assuming that they're probably following the labeling guidelines, which means that it is not simply a malted grain beverage, because a malted grain beverage can be distilled down and then reconstituted with water, and different rules apply. So I'm assuming this is made in the traditional fashion of making beer. So yeah, but did you try it? Do you want to try it?
Sure.
It's I gotta say, it's like I said, it's interesting. If someone gave me that as a beer and didn't say a word about what it was,
Yeah, it tastes.
there's
Yeah.
like citrus and there's like some spicy overnote. It's like someone could go, "Yeah, this was brewed by equestrian fan monks high in the Alps," and it'd be like, "Really? Huh?" And I'd try it and go, "Huh, that's weird." But I'm not saying it's like, "Oh, this is so good."
No.
It's someone now. I'm gonna give it a squeeze of lime just to see what happens, because I've put lime in some of the best beer in the worst places. Yeah, it actually, strangely enough, tastes like some kind of almost like a fancy wheat beer or something. It's different. It's not what I expected. I expected absolutely no character, just like lighter than light beer. I'm undecided as to will I buy a whole bunch more of this? Probably, because the beer fridge out in the shop sometimes.
I like it better than watermelon
Yeah,
alcohol
well, you
seltzer.
can give it a try with the squeeze of lime there.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm undecided. I don't hate it as much as I thought. I thought I would be just like, well, I figured it was going to taste a lot like.
I think I like it better with the lime.
Me too.
I thought it was going to be like near beer. There was a time when.
Here.
Oh, near
Yeah,
beer.
So here's the thing: is that I always believe in boozing it up if at all possible. But there was a time in which when I lived back up in Santa Cruz, up in the mountains, where I found myself. There was a period in which I didn't have a job. But I did have a whole lot of work to be done on my house and the surrounding grounds. And I found that when I was wielding axes and chainsaws and such, that by the time I got through like a 6-pack of beer, I probably shouldn't have been. So I took a page from my late mother's book, which was Drinking NA. And I found that while I was doing the dangerous work with the dangerous tools, it satisfies the urge to drink something other than water. Because I've never been a big water drinker, and you can only drink so much soda when you're out working hard, because you end up sweating out sugar, and it's not happy. But I did find that for a while drinking some of those non-alcoholic beers was a good solution. So drawing on that, I figured this was going to probably taste kind of like that, only worse. And it's weird. It's good. It's weird. It's good and weird. And especially at 4%, I can't balk. I'd like to, and you guys will. I know there's going to be people out there going, "Jesus Christ, Kiki, what does the world come to where you're calling this some sort of a beer?" But being honest, it's all right. Not as good as the Nitro Cold Brew coffee mix, but it's its own thing. It is its own thing. But so anyway, yeah. So once again, like I said, we made our own Guinness and coffees, and we were talking about that this weekend. And I don't remember is that what brought it up? Someone said, "Oh, did you see Guinness has their own coffee?" CJ and Turk, I think, were talking about it. I don't know if they were just reminiscing, waxing philosophical.
Well, now you know.
We'll find out. One of you guys chime in, because I'm sure that but if it's only 1.47 milligrams of caffeine, though, I'm gonna just buy my own Guinness and coffee. Anyway, but that's not what I came here to talk to you about. It isn't. No. What did I come here to talk to you about? Well, I didn't know until Amy said, "You should talk about this." I said, "Okay, why not?" So, what we got here? How did you get this? What's the deal here? Where did this come
So
from?
I've seen him at several places, and I went to, I don't know, it was one of the grocery stores down here, and they had some, and I thought, I'm going to pick these up. I've always wanted to try them. So I picked up that one, and then I picked up the one that was their pineapple jalapeno margarita.
Ooh, that sounds frightening.
It was good. It wasn't too
Yeah.
spicy, but it had a little kick. It was good. So I thought I'll save that one for Tiki because I know that he likes his Tiki drinks.
Because I do. And so what this is the On the Rocks Mai Tai, made with cruisin' rum. It's weighing in 20%, so 40 proof. So you figure that, I mean, with a real Mai Tai, you figure once you get down to the nitty gritty, it's not far off. It's not far off. If you're using 80 proof rums, 40%. You know, why not? So we're gonna give this a try and see what happens. Who's this made by? Oh, I know it's On the Rocks, but
Yeah.
bringing the bar to you, pour over ice and enjoy. I'd hate to let them down. Let's do that. We'll pour it over the ice
And then enjoy.
and enjoy.
Step 1.
Step 1, pour over ice. It has a nice,
It does.
I like the bottle too, actually. Surprisingly diminutive, but
I know. I
appears
almost saved
larger.
the other one for you guys. I thought, I wonder if he would want that. And then I thought,
I might.
nah.
Well, I don't know. It's, I mean, look, I mean,
And it's got a good cork.
because the thing comes off, and then you could fill this with medicinal items. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I can engrave my name on the top to be used against me later. Well, this is your thing, so. Alrighty, here we go
It smells
with
good.
the On the Rocks Cruisin' Mai Tai. Surprisingly boozy. I'd have to say in a knockdown drag out against the Cutwaters, this would come out superior by far.
Yeah.
It's
these,
it's far more limey. It's got a lot more booziness to it.
Tastes more like a Mai Tai.
It does, yeah.
than
It's
a
yeah,
Mai Tai.
it's way more tart. It's got a good balance of the sweets, and like I said, has a good boozy forwardness.
Yeah, I like it. It feels like it would do what it's made to do.
It would do its job. This
Yeah.
this would do the job, as they say about sausages.
So when I
Down in-
had the margarita one, I drank the whole thing to myself, and I was feeling pretty good.
I was gonna say I bet you were pleased with the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And so what? So what does something like this cost?
I want to say it was $9.
$9 for 2 drinks. That's less than bar prices.
Mm-hmm.
So, which we had when I was with Bousquetier CJ over this past weekend. When we arrived, he still had a little bit left of a bottle that we picked up on a whim that was the same thing. It was a pre-made old fashioned, and it was actually it was surprisingly potent. So
Yeah, they have like 4 or 5 different mixes that this one does that I just.
On the Rocks.
Uh-huh.
No, I would say this is definitely something that I always say mix fresh if you can, but actually do I ever say that? Have I ever said that before now? Probably not. I'm a liar. Don't believe anything I say. I never say that. Forget it. I'm not gonna. I always think about it. You can't prove me wrong. No, I always think, if you can mix up fresh, if you have the ingredients, if you happen to have a nice light rum and a nice dark rum, and you happen to have rock candy syrup, and you happen to have good orgeat, and you're like, and you can and fresh lime juice, and you got the lime shell, and you have some mint sprigs. Hey, go to it. Make yourself a Trader Vic's 1944 recipe Mai Tai. Good stuff. However, if you just came home from work and you're like, damn, I want a Mai Tai, I would say this is a fine way to go, because stick a couple of these in your pantry or in the freezer or wherever this was. It's cold.
I was in the fridge.
It's like my soul. Cold and filled with booze. No, I would say that's a good thing to have there in your larder in the fridge, waiting for you to get home from that one day where all day long you could think of nothing else except having that Mai Tai. And then there was a traffic jam and you couldn't get to the place you usually go, so you came home and you thought, well, at least I have this.
You don't need all the ingredients.
No, and you don't. That's the thing. Once again, I've had several Mai Tai premixes that required, pour over ice and enjoy with a squeeze of fresh lime. It's like, what if you don't? But what if you don't have that? And this is self-contained. Good stuff. It's I am impressed. Bruce May. No, that is fine. When this is okay, picnics, hikes, baseball games, baths, abandoned buildings, going to jail, whatever it happens to be the thing you're doing. Keep one of these in your hidden away somewhere, and you'll be glad you did. Because we've done a fair amount of premixes, and there's more on the horizon. They keep coming up. That's the weird things that. So, without revealing my age too much, I'm going to say, when I was underage, we would go to the Thrifty late at night and shoulder tap and get somebody to buy us like the club pina colada, because that was what there was at the time, and it was basically a jug of some sort of booze that tasted like sweet stuff and got you messed up. But things it's weird because then that stuff all disappeared, and there was this like whole period of time in which there really was not a lot of pre-mixed beverage. I mean, maybe Bloody Marys, there was that. And you could always get pretty much pina colada mix. And you could get Trader Vic's Mai Tai mix, but it was the same thing. You had to get that, and then you had to get fresh limes, and there was like a whole process to it. But now I've been noticing more and more coming back there's a lot of actually small batch companies that are coming out with pre-made drinks that are fantastic. And a lot of bars, strangely enough, are coming out with pre-made drinks, which I haven't tried half of them, but I hear they're good. You're prettier than they are. Anyway, no. So it's an exciting time we live in where you can go down and buy a pre-made cocktail and check it out. I still have that. I have a sack of Negroni sitting around back at the house, and you should move over. We should. I keep looking at producer Maggie for the nod of approval, or for her to give me the shut up, stop talking about that. No, but anyway, so there's there's increasingly more and more pre-made cocktails coming out, and canned cocktails, and actually restaurants. It's weird, restaurants and iconic bars and stuff that are releasing canned versions of their cocktails, and a lot of times of their signature cocktails, which is really interesting because there's places. I'm going to segue now. I'm going to segue. This is awesome. There are some places where you go to a specific bar to get a specific drink because they have their own thing going on, and this is something that which we'll have to see what happens because I'm still a little bit dubious. But we were at McGarry's Irish Pub in Bakersfield. Is that the name? McGarry's? Yeah, so we were at McGarry's Irish Pub, and they make a small batch Manhattan that is amazing. It is amazing. It is probably one of the best I have had, and I was like, I should do this. I should do my show. This is fantastic. But then that's one of their things, and it's a proprietary drink to one of the bartenders specifically. And I didn't want to, I don't want to rain on her parade or nothing, or like give out her secrets, because that's not, I don't want to take away business. And I said, but that's okay because like the two people who watch my show don't live anywhere near Bakersfield, so you're not going to lose nothing. But anyway, no. So we were there this weekend, and we went in. She came and sat with us for a bit, and she seemed kind of excited about it. She was like, "Yeah, no problem. We'll set you up." So we're gonna hopefully do one of her small batch Manhattans, and it was like I said, it was sublime. It was amazing. I have the ice sphere, and I have the ice sphere. The ice sphere. I have the sphere. I have the ice sphere. I do. And the Antica Sweet Vermouth and the bitters. But the only thing we need is the small batch, which apparently we're going to find out. They'll send us what that is, and we'll make the thing. We'll do the stuff and make the thing. But I'm only going to do it if you Boozketeers who live anywhere near Bakersfield promise that instead of following my recipe, you'll actually go there and buy one. And if you don't live near Bakersfield, you'll make the trip to Bakersfield. You'll book your vacation at the Comfort Inns and Suites, and they have a free breakfast, and you can have biscuits and gravy and orange juice, which you can put booze in. That's the thing. If you bring your own booze, they won't throw you out, apparently. But anyway, so there you go. So, yeah. So tonight's show, Guinness Natural Cold Brew Coffee. Tasty, but I'm not sure about the coffee, to be honest. Bud Light next. I'm not sure what's next. But I will say this is probably going to go into my shop fridge, which is with the beer fridge out in my workshop, because right now what's out there is like 6 cases of Belgian wheat beer, which is not bad, but a little heavy when you're running a router. And then Sapphire, we'll deal with that later. But on the rocks, the Mai Tai made with cruisin' rum. I'm going to give this a big thumbs up because taste is good. It's boozy. I'm pleased with the results. And yeah, check it out. Once again, grab one of these, stick it in your, grab one of these and stick it in your larder. Because you never know when you might come home thinking a Mai Tai is the tool for the job that we need to do right now. That's the thing. So there you go. Are we out of time yet? Has it only been 5 minutes? That's what always happens.
It's been 27 minutes.
Alrighty. Well, well, I've covered all the ground that I'm going to cover. Other than we will be coming up next. Wicked Tinkers. Check us out. We're going to be up in Grand Junction, Colorado. For all of you fans of us that happen to be up in that way, go there and check us out. Because after that, we're going to be where? Down in Costa Mesa, right here in California, not far from where we are right now. So we're going to be down there, Costa Mesa, having a good time. And come on out, please. Anytime that you happen to, please mention you're a Boozketeer, and we'll give you a free thumbs up. We'll get 2 if I'm not, holding a beer. So there you go. If I have Boozketeer buttons, you get one of those too, but I can't promise. Alrighty, before producer Maggie falls over, I'm Tiki King. So they're doing I'm trying to focus. I'm Tiki King, you're the Boozketeers. Good night and good drinking.